Thanks, Concordia. And I think this debate, and in fairness to Deputy Murphy who's brought this amendment, it comes to the crux of many people's comfort or otherwise with the bill. The demonstration test is something that I've discussed with the academics as outlined previously, Jennifer Swepp and others. And then there are other academics who I've spoken to, Seamus Taylor, who effectively wrote the book on hate crime, who says that in his experience is central to the effectiveness of the bill. And it is true that it's only the UK, England, Wales, Northern Ireland that actually have this demonstration test within their legislation. It is now outlier, but they have been commended by the UN, the EU Fundamental Rights Agency, the OSCE for their laws, policy and practices. What you don't want to have is somebody in an altercation who says something stupid that is then labelled a hate criminal. And in certain circumstances, what can happen to a young person is that they double down on that. I've just been labelled as being somebody who's just committed a hate crime, and they can be influenced by people in the sphere who turn them into a victim, and then that is a fork in the road of their lives. So we are kind of conflicted as legislators, and I think Deputy O'Callaghan's made a valid point, Minister, if you could reflect on this, perhaps within the Shan debates. It is a difficult one, I think, for government to try and do what's best. But what we don't want to do here is to have a piece of legislation that ends up criminalising the wrong people. There's a whole world of a difference between somebody who is motivated to attack somebody based on their ethnicity or other characteristics, versus somebody who gets involved in an altercation and then uses that person's ethnicity or characteristics as a slur as a result of that altercation. If we equate those two instances, well then I think we're doing a disservice to the second person, to the second case, and then we possibly lost that person forever. And that happens far too often when you criminalise somebody in a certain circumstance. They could be gone. However, there is in the UK effective hate crime legislation, and demonstration test was key to that. So it's not an easy one. But certainly I'm minded to support what Deputy O'Callaghan has said in relation to your further investigation of this matter.